Hey, what's up, guys? I think this is episode 5. That's not what's important. Anyway, today what's been bugging me all day is like thinking about the credits, like just credit in general and the money system, how it's all fucked up. And I really wanted to try to destroy that with you guys today and really, really bash that subject. Maybe wake some of you guys, wake you the fuck up. So I'll just get started, I guess. We gotta think about a time. You gotta think about the times when gold was money. For you to understand the money system and what it is now and credit, you need to understand the history of money. So I'm gonna tell you. So think about the times when gold was money. Um, People used to purchase things with their gold, obviously. And there's places like I don't know if they're called banks or something else, but there are places just like banks where people would go deposit their gold. They wouldn't carry all their gold on them. It's like they wouldn't carry all your money on you, right? So they would go to these places and deposit their gold, and they would get a receipt that would tell you the value of gold that you deposited. And these people would take the receipt. So people could go to stores and take the receipts and pay for these things with their receipts instead of their gold. They could do that. So eventually, it just became so convenient to buy things without their gold because gold was like heavy and like kind of awkward. So these receipts actually replaced the value of gold. These receipts adopted the value of the gold, and the receipts is actually what paper money is now. People don't know this. Paper money used to be just a receipt for gold. Um, what we have to understand is that yeah, paper money adopted the value of gold, but gold never lost its value. So now you have two things that have the same value. You just doubled the world's wealth technically. So you have to understand that the people that owned these banks became extremely rich because they just inherited all this gold. They just like gave people paper and said, "Hey, this is worth this," blah 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 blah, and the world accepted it. But in the end, they inherited all this gold. It's a master plan. Um, yeah. So knowing that, we're gonna go ahead in history a little bit. At a time where America was at war and America is beginning to become extremely in debt, and America is a failing country, and a dying country. So these extremely rich people, these banking giants, even now this exact same families, you can look them up. They're all over the place. The Rothschilds, a couple other families, they're banking giants. Their sons and sons and sons all run shit. So while America was at war, these people came to America and they said, "We'll give you war loans. You pay us back in like I think the war loan interest rate is like 36%. So even like you guys don't understand that war is actually profitable. War actually creates jobs and makes countries money. It's insane. But anyways, these people came to America and told them, "We'll give you a war loan. We'll give you all this massive amount of money. We'll help you win this war, but in only under one condition, and that was to open like they already ran the banks, but the government controlled their banks. What they wanted was like main banks and have them privatized, so it was just theirs. They owned it, and that's exactly what happened. Like if you know, like the Bank of America, like Bank of America isn't owned by America or the American government. Actually, it's privately owned and it's well documented. You can go on government websites or like even if you go on fucking YouTube, there's like probably mad videos about. I don't know if there is or not because I didn't look it up because I like to know my facts, but you can definitely find it out there and actually realize that there's privately owned banks around the entire world. That's insane. Like the Federal Reserve, the Fed is privatized. Like not that long ago, like $1.5 trillion went missing, and they couldn't even get audited or investigated because they're above the law. But these people are so powerful now that they're actually inside the government under different names and in different networks. People don't understand that because when America made that deal, America sold their soul. And there's got to be a reason why America is still excelling, even though America right now is like $14 trillion in debt. Don't you think they would be struggling at least? No, because America is being run by different people behind the scenes, behind closed doors. People need to wake the fuck up and realize that America technically should be a dead country, a failing country, and it's not. It's excelling, it's profiting, but that money doesn't go back into the country. It goes to these rich ass motherfuckers. The richer get richer, and the poorer get poorer. Like you should know this. Um, so where does that lead me? That leads me to the subject of credit. So these, these smart motherfuckers, you gotta realize we're talking about the smartest people in the world. These people are always 5 steps ahead of us, and that's why it's like not even a fight. Like you don't even know what the fuck's going on. There's got to be a reason why now they allow us to know this information. Why like we're allowed to use things like YouTube, because like these people own every aspect of our lives. They run everything. Like you guys need to understand that like just because different companies have different names doesn't mean they're not owned by the same people. Like I learned in media class when I was in high school that like the Warner Brothers and Universal and like Rogers, they own like thousands and thousands of companies, big companies. They're not even relevant to that company, but they own them. So you need to understand that like the same networks own almost everything, every aspect of our lives. You need to understand that. Um, but yeah, that brings me to the subject of credit. So these smart ass people created this phony baloney thing called credit. Um, so when you go to a bank and you want to take a loan for $50,000, these people don't go move precious metal around or gold, to create the value of $50,000. They don't go to their savings account and take out 50 grand from their savings and put it in yours. That's not what happens. These people, all they do is go to your account and insert $50,000, and you instantly start paying interest on it. And that's the whole idea of credit is interest. They're creating um, like an asset out of nothing. Like they're receiving money from you, even though they haven't given you anything technically. Um, um, what we also don't know is that all banks can give out 10 times what you've given it. So say you deposited $1, they can give out $9, $10. So how does that make sense? You need to think really generally sometimes, and like the world is actually a very simple place if you think about it in a simple way. So knowing that banks can do that, now you can gotta understand why like depressions happening, the economy it collapses, um, because there's not enough rates in cycle. There's not enough money in cycle of return that's real compared to what's fake. So when a boom happens, people like get positive in their lives and their jobs, and they feel comfortable to borrow money. So lots, like a massive amount of people at one point borrow money in the economy. So the economy is doing very well. But at some point, there's a point where it's obvious that this money doesn't exist. And these people are very smart and they see it way ahead of time. And that's when they bust it. They burst the bubble, and that's why you have like a recession. And that's when it's blatantly obvious because people can't afford what they wanted. They can't afford to pay for the loan because there's not enough money in the economy compared to how much is owned they owe to the economy. You need to wrap your head around that. I think you might want to listen to that a few times before you understand. Um, but yeah, that shit's fucked up. I know there's more I had to say. I'm just trying to fucking figure it out. Um, I don't know, man. The government's just corrupt as fuck, and you guys don't know it. Like, like your political views don't even matter anymore. Like, if you look at the Declaration of Independence, it says that they can handpick presidents at any point, at any time. And, like, that's what they do. Like, the last real president was probably like JFK. Look how controlled they were until then. Um, I don't know, man. Just be aware. But you got to realize, since they opened privatized banks, the value of money is actually valueless because they can just manufacture as much money as they want. It's fake. It's phony. It's paper. It's not real. Trading is real. You know, even like gold. You can't say that gold has a value. A human being just at one point said, "Hey, okay, we're gonna say that gold has value. These people are gonna work 40% of their lives for this gold. People are gonna kill and lie, cheat, and steal. You know, people are gonna take this gold to the grocery store. That's the only way they're gonna be able to feed their family and provide for their family is if they work for this gold. Crazy, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how this all started, but the world could be a totally different place without money. But I think greed and power just got out of control. And the power has just been staying in the same families forever, and they're not planning on stopping. Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess that's it, man. I don't want to go too far with it, but I just want you guys to realize that money is a complete illusion. Complete illusion. It's just paper. I bet if I had a bill on me, I'd burn it in front of this camera so you guys can cringe. But like, you just need to get through this fear. Like, this is what happens. Like, money with money becomes fear and power. Power because the people who have all the money have power because we fear that if we don't have money, we can't survive in this society today. You know. Um, and also like it supports like splitting the societies into different classes because not everyone can have an equal amount of money. Someone's gonna have less, someone's gonna have the most. You know. And then that just goes hand in hand with consumerism. Like not everyone can buy nice sweaters like this Adidas sweater. You know, some people it divides all of us. And that's when racism comes and whatever the fuck else, man. Um, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I can talk about this for fucking days and days, but I always go off topic, so I'm just trying to stay on, but it's not working. So yeah, I think this is episode 5 of Higher Learning. Um, yeah, I'll hit y'all up tomorrow. Peace.